Well, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Man, I'm telling you, it's Friday and I'm happy. Man, last weekend of May, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I mean, the year is flying. It is literally flying, which is good, which is really, really good. We got the guy in the White House, whatever his name is. We got that guy, and he is screwing stuff up big time. So we need this time to go by really fast. So hopefully that will happen. Let this year scoot on by. Because, man. Anywho, I'm happy today. I'm happy just because it's Friday. Hey, what's up, Charles? What's going on? How's it going? James, welcome. How y'all feeling? Hope y'all feeling good. Hope y'all feeling fine. I'm peachy. You know, and unfortunately, you know, y'all know I come on here and I bitch a lot about the weather. And I'm gonna stop doing that. I ain't gonna do it today. You know. But I'm happy that the year is going on through, because the faster these years go, the closer we'll get to find out if we in a constitutional crisis or not. So we'll find that. We'll find out. Okay. Anyway, I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful as all get out that somebody clue me into the Diddy parties. Hey, Carmen. Now, see, I'm serious when I tell y'all that. Somebody need to give me the hookup, because I hear they getting real freaky out there. And I mean, I need my invite, you know? So if you know somebody that knows somebody, tell them to tag me in. You want somebody to get real slow, huh? Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't be wishing it to go fast. As much as I like to be outside, huh? As much as I like to be outside, nah, I shouldn't wish it to go by quick. How can they, if Diddy in jail? Hey, the party got to go on. You know, the party has to go on. You know, like the show has to go on. The party got to keep going. And as a matter of fact, so I think somebody asked Trump today if he would pardon him. And of course, you know, in his usual Trumpian, full of shit ass way, he basically, he might as well have said yeah. You know, he might as well have said yeah. He would pardon him. So, anyways, and just to show y'all the freakiness is alive and well. Hey, they having contests out there that ain't nobody notified me of. Check it out.
I'm Derek with Channel 3 News, and today we're talking to those participating in Pleasant Mart's yearly ass-eating competition.
That's disgusting.
I've been practicing at rest stops, at bathrooms all across Cleveland County. That gift card is going to be mine.
Well, I've been eating stink pipes since they shot JFK, so I intend on winning this year's competition.
See, all these talls got to crouch to do their thing. Not me. As soon as the bell rings, my face is already there. That gift card is mine, assholes.
Oh, I love it, baby. I won last year. Got my tongue all in there like I was eating some shrimp and grits. Y'all hear me?
Kind sir, can I have 5?
I tell you what. I didn't get my invite. Shoot. Somebody need to start messaging me the flyers and shit, because I'm not getting them. My inbox is dry. I'm gonna need some help. So anyway, the freakiness goes on. Boy, I tell you, it is crazy though. So, hey, my bad. Anyway, I tell you what, that social media is something else, ain't it? Let's look at another one. But man, you know what? I see this guy every day. This guy right here, I'm about to show. I see this dude every day. Check him out. I've seen that dude almost every time I went in the Harrells. That is crazy. So anyhow, we got all kind of foolishness going on out there in the world. Somebody sent me, and my neighbor actually sent me a clip, and it blew me away. I was sitting there looking, and I just couldn't believe it. What's going on down in Atlanta. And this is going on across the country, you know? Imagine one of your relatives passing away, and you getting ready to sell the house. Plenty of people, you know, go through this every day. You're getting ready to sell the house, and you go to start taking care of stuff in the house and whatever, and you get to the house and find out some squatters done took over the house. Check this out.
They said squatters have taken over their childhood home just days before it was supposed to be sold.
Our Chase Howell spoke with the family, who says the situation has been heartbreaking.
We doing a party. You know what time it is.
From inviting people on Facebook to pool parties to posting videos on social media from inside this $500,000 home, one family says squatters have taken over.
It is a nightmare. These videos and advertisements are so far-reaching that we received a call this morning from someone in Florida that said, hey, I've seen your dad's property on the internet.
Lisa, Kevin, Marcus, and Marlene grew up in the home. They say it was just last week their dad passed away. And not even 48 hours later, the squatters came in like thieves in the night and took over their childhood home.
It pisses me off tremendously.
After learning about the squatters, the siblings called the police, and according to the incident report, the people inside the home supplied a lease. Then later that same day, Kevin went to check on the house and was met by a group of guys.
They started making threats against my life, and one of them told his friend to go get something, and he came back with a rifle in the doorway. He didn't point it at me, but they made threats against my life and made it known that I might not walk out of there.
I went up to the front door to see if anyone was home for an interview and to see the lease, but no one answered. A little later, I saw a car pulling out of the driveway, and I met them in the street.
Do you live here at all? You don't? Do you know who does? Are they home? Okay, because I'm trying to get a hold of them because people are trying to say that basically they're squatting in the house. Do you have the person's number that lives there? You don't? All right, you want to go on camera to talk about it?
I'm hearing my father's voice.
Marcus says he's frustrated, not only as one of the homeowners, but as a lawyer. He says he's heard about cases like this, but never thought it would happen to him.
It's infuriating
to see people in that home destroying it and partying and inviting other strangers into that home.
And as we were sitting around talking after the interview, Lisa received a voicemail from the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office.
He now has 3 days, so not including the weekends, he has until Monday to make to answer.
Yes, DeKalb County. Yes. That's how I feel.
In DeKalb County, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
What a frustrating situation. According to the sheriff's office, the person claiming to rent that home has a court date on June 3rd to prove the legitimacy of the lease. Thanks.
Now, imagine that. You come to the house and somebody just decided to move in. And they posting parties on social media. They having parties. Gangs of folks in and out the house with nobody's permission. And I've heard how people have posted a party on things like Facebook, and the next thing you know, there's thousands of people there. Imagine the damage you would do to a house. Okay? Imagine the damage that can be done by a bunch of folks that don't care at all. They don't live there. They don't care about nothing. And you would think the cops could arrest somebody on spot. You know, you would think that's something that the cops could just walk in and arrest everybody. But apparently, that's civil court or something. You know, you got to go through landlord-tenant situation under those circumstances. And they're not even renting it from you. You know, that's crazy. Now, I've heard in other places that they've worked out ways to go around that and sick the cops on them. So, but I can only imagine, you know, having to go through something like that. Somebody just move into your property. Crazy. Crazy. Wow. And the real crazy part about it is you can't do anything to them. You know, you can't attack them. You can't do nothing. Boy, that's messed up. So, crazy world. Hey, anybody got any great plans tonight? Or is everybody going to be dull like me again on Friday night? You know, I don't know. I might get out tonight and do something. I think my fat might need a breath of fresh air. But anyway. So, like I was saying a little while ago, looks like we're getting closer and closer to this constitutional crisis thing, because the courts have been standing in the way of Trump up to this point. He got a good ruling today. The Supreme Court today stepped in and said, hey, you can take the protected status from about 500,000 Cubans, Venezuelans, and some of those other folks from South America Was it Uruguay or I don't know. Anyway, so he's getting to kick another 500,000 people out, and so he's happy about that. But they are challenging the courts. They're running around saying the courts do not have any authority to stop him from doing anything. And we're getting really close. Here is Scott Pelley interviewing a guy on 60 Minutes. And listen to, I forget his name. Excuse me for that. I should have remembered his name. But check this out. And right after that, I'm going to play another clip of J.D. Vance and tell me if it don't sound scary to you.
I am a conservative Republican and a strict constructionist. The reason they're not saying anything, I think they're afraid. Musk has said that he would spend $100 million in primaries on anybody who opposed the president on anything. So I think there's a lot of fear in the city right now.
How do you view this moment in history?
I don't want to be too pessimistic, but it does appear we may be headed towards some sort of a constitutional crisis. I hope that doesn't happen. I pray it doesn't happen, but it's certainly concerning to me what's going on in the city right now.
Is the constitutional order breaking down?
We'll see if they refuse to enforce a court order by the Supreme Court. If it gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rules against the administration on something and they refuse to enforce it, then we will have a constitutional crisis.
What happens then?
Well, I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Okay. Now, none of us know what'll happen if they just decide to ignore the Constitution. None of us knows what will happen. So just listen right quick to J.D. Vance doing another interview and giving his opinion. Just listen to what he is saying. Now, I've played this before, and I'm going to play this again because people need to know. And this is why I keep bringing it up. People need to know what these people actually think. Check it out.
Should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. And when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
That is the way we're going to have the American equivalent of the Ermächtigungsgesetz, the Enabling Act of 1933, when Hitler got the Reichstag to pass a law that basically gave him all power, including the power to legislate. This is effectively what they are intending to do, and that is exactly what J.D. Vance is describing. We're going to do whatever we want. We don't care whether the laws apply to us, and we aren't going to let judges tell us we can't do what we're going to do. This is a complete obliteration of the separation of powers that they are contemplating.
Now, y'all heard the other day that in this current bill that they're trying to get passed, it's in the Senate right now, there's a provision that literally tells Donald Trump he can ignore the courts. Okay? It basically tells him, hey, you get to ignore the courts. Now, I don't know how that could pass constitutional muster. Now, plenty of laws have been stricken down because they were unconstitutional. And yes, that is a Hitler reboot. It's absolutely a Hitler reboot. And these people, as a matter of fact, Stephen Miller, just the other day, expressing the fact that they don't think these 215 some odd judges have any control over this administration. Now, we have 3 branches of government. Okay? The president, the executive branch, the Congress, and this is a moment where Congress includes the Senate. Okay? Congress, that's the legislative branch, and the judiciary. The 3 branches for a reason. They're there to keep each other in check. They're equally there to keep each other in check. Now, we got one guy who has decided he can ignore the other 2 branches. So, the closer we get to him ignoring court orders, matter of fact, he is right now in contempt of 2 court orders. Now, what's going to happen? I'm not hearing anything. Have any of you heard anything about that? I have not heard anything at all about any action being taken. Crickets. You know, it's got to be something. It's got to be something. And this guy got to be on some kind of, they must have him on some serious medication. Because the guy don't seem to sleep. And he seems to come up with every bad thing that he's ever thought about doing. You know, have you noticed all of the stuff that he comes up with seems to be like a checklist of evil shit that he's always wanted to do. You know, I've always wanted to be the most racist person I could and have nobody that can say anything to me about it. Have you ever noticed that? This guy, you know, there's a term called drunk with power. But this guy's beyond drunk with power. And of course, as somebody mentioned to me yesterday, that an appellate court has stepped in and allowed him to keep the tariffs. Everybody thought, okay, this tariff situation is over with. Now it's not over with again. And this guy. So right when I was about to start looking at the stock market, we get the news that the tariffs are on again. So it's like, I forget it. So this is where we are. This is where we are. And we're like right there. You know, the Supreme Court, they seem to like to want to walk this real thin line when it comes to rulings for and against this guy. They will constantly rule for him on things that that can really hurt a lot of people. But every now and then, there's a slither of a ruling against him, like with the gentleman in El Salvador. We are not hearing anything about him. Okay, we're not hearing anything about him being brought back. And he's under court order to bring the man back. So we're right there on what is called a constitutional crisis. I don't know. What we gonna do about it? Man. Not to mention all of these rogue folks he's letting out of jail. Man, that is so crazy. And he basically said today he probably would let Diddy out again. Anyway. You know, we got to think real hard. Now, I've been thinking about it a lot because we seem to be on our way. Check this out. Out in Kansas City, that the white supremacists are at it again. The white nationalists. Check it out.
Strong words from city leaders today. That's after members of a controversial nationalist group rallied and marched in Kansas City. The group is called the Patriot Front. Civil rights nonprofit, the Southern Poverty Law Center, categorizes it as a hate group. Fox 4's Jacob Sloan shares reaction from people around the city.
On Memorial Day weekend, the Liberty Memorial is decorated to honor our troops. But yesterday, more flags appeared at the memorial from ralliers. These pictures show the group with faces covered rallying at the memorial. They carry shields and a variety of flags. Some are upside-down USA flags. Some carry the Betsy Ross flag from the 1700s. Others even hold the Confederate battle flag. The SPLC calls them a white nationalist hate group that split from the group who planned the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. That rally killed one person and injured many others. The National World War I Museum and Memorial issued a statement to Fox 4 on Sunday, saying they respect the group's right to peaceful assembly and free speech and want to be unequivocally clear that the views expressed by this group do not represent or align with our values. They continue to say they stand firmly against hatred, bigotry, and divisiveness in all forms. In a Facebook post on Saturday, Mayor Lucas also said, while the First Amendment provides the right to bring any message to Kansas City, we know that our diversity, our welcoming community, and our respect for the rights of all reject whatever hate and cowardice come our way. It's still unclear why the group chose Kansas City for their demonstration. We reached out to KCPD to see if they received any advance notice the rally was happening. We have not heard back. Jacob Sloan, Fox 4, working for you.
Now, this guy says he don't know why they came to Kansas City. Say I might not have to wait to get invited to one of them parties. Hey, you know what? I'll keep looking in the box, man. I ain't seeing nothing. I stay in the mailbox, and I'm not seeing a thing. So anyway, This reporter says he don't know why they decided to come to Kansas City. That's because they're coming to a town near you. They intend to spread this hate everywhere. So, we have the white nationalists marching throughout the country. Throughout the country. And their leaders in the White House. And they're stirring really early. Okay? They're stirring the pot nice and early. You know, they ain't even letting it get warm yet. And I tell you, to be honest, they might be a little more friendly if they had been invited to a Diddy party. You know, somehow I feel like people come out of Diddy parties a little softer. So, there you have it. Anyway, you know, I'm almost afraid that this may be a pretty explosive summer because crazy and hatred is in the air. Crazy and hatred is in the air. Might be kind of explosive. I'm going to try my best to be safe. But hey, you know, you can't shut yourself in. You can't shut yourself in. I tell you, it's sad that we have one group of people in this country who just intends, just hell-bent on running the lives of everyone. One group of people. They just hell-bent on running everybody's life. They got a whole shit list of stuff that they don't like, and if they don't like it, you can't do it. Whatever it is they don't like, you can't do it. How crazy is that? They banning books. Books? Really? They damn sure don't want to teach you nothing. They almost banning school. Look how many people being home taught now. They've almost banned school. We got this crazy president that's just he's going after the universities like crazy. We got to look out. We have to look out. And not to mention RFK Jr. running the health department. And I mean, he put out a report. And this report listed fake studies. Studies that did not exist at all. Now here's the head of Health and Human Services putting out a report for the country that has in it studies that did not exist. We are right up against a constitutional crisis. It's crazy. And I'm just wondering, we still aren't hearing any solid leader from the Democratic side. There is a gentleman, and I failed to remember his name, out of Texas, a Texas lawmaker, and he is down in Texas giving Governor Abbott hell. Now he is looking kind of strong. I am going to Foster Brooks running the health department. Foster Brooks running the health department. Well, if you say so. That dude does sound, he sounds like he's like a mixture of Foster Brooks and someone being electrocuted. Imagine if Foster Brooks was being electrocuted. That's kind of more like it. But this guy down in Texas, I really got to find his name. Let me see if I can look this up right quick. Let's see. I'm not seeing it right here. I'll get back to you all on that guy, but he looks pretty strong. And I'm like, wonder if they could talk this guy into national politics. Right now, this guy is, he's down there in Texas giving Abbott hell. He's down there giving him hell. So I'm going to see if I can find this guy's name. I can't think of it. But every time I hear him, I'm like, man, this dude here sounds pretty strong. And he sounds like a fighter. And that's what we need. We need a fighter. We got to have a fighter. Somebody help me here. I know some of y'all know some fighters. We got to get somebody out there that can fight. And hey James, what's the sports guy's name with the haircut? Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. You know what? That guy, I would vote for Stephen A. Smith. Because I think Stephen A. Smith can hold his own in front of a camera and in front of a microphone. We need somebody that can hold their own in front of a camera and a microphone. Need somebody to step up. Because what we got is soft. You would think everybody on the Democratic side just left a Diddy party because they soft. They soft and old. They're soft and old. As a matter of fact, that is going to be one of the fights taking place here in the next year or two in the Democratic Party. It is about to be young against old. There's a fight brewing between the young and the old in the Democratic Party. The Democrats are just the old in the party. They intend to die in office. None of them intend to retire. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. Just not going to retire. The gentleman from Carolina, I can't think of his name, but they just don't intend to retire. They're just going to die in office. And quite frankly, we need some new militants in the Democratic Party. You know, they ought to let Larry Hoover in. You know, since they trying to get him out of prison, let him run as a Democrat. I bet you if Larry Hoover was running, boy, it'd be a whole different situation then. But that's what we need. We need, and I just feel like the old folks, they're not going to step aside. They're not going to step aside. And, you know, until they do, that's just going to be a problem. Because they're not inspiring anybody to vote. And they're certainly not inspiring any of the MAGA followers to vote for them. So, we'll find out. So, as I mentioned, though, anybody got any suggestions for a night on the town? I'm open for suggestions. I need a night out. Somebody give me some ideas. You know, I might even hop on a plane. Give me some ideas. Anyway, I'm going to cut it right there. I really do got to figure out something to do this evening because my fat needs a breath of fresh air. So on that note, it's Friday evening. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me as usual. I'm going to get out of here while it's still early. I'm gonna get off of here, catch me the first thing steaming. How about staying alive? Well, you know, I guess that's a good idea. Hey, man, you messed me up with that, man. How about staying alive? Hey, man, you know, I'm going to try my best to stay alive, okay? Appreciate it, though. That's for sure. I appreciate it. Again, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to get out of here early and just, you know, I got to get something done. All right. You like Hakeem Jeffries. He's got your, I'm assuming that's vote. Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, he's an all right guy, but he's all politician. You know, on the other side, you got fire and brimstone kind of speeches. You know, that's what we need on the other side. You think he the man that can push that thing away? We need it. I get it. As a politician. But I think right now we're gonna need something more than a politician. We got some forces out there that are not going to do things in a political way. Understand something. We already have a House and a Senate that is complicit with this administration. Okay? You got a House and Senate that's complicit with the administration. They are laying down and letting this guy do whatever he wants. So our solution may not be a political one. Just bear that in mind. Our solution may not be a political solution. Just putting that out there. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. We're this close. This close. Need someone that's bringing hell with them. Yeah. Hey, you know what? That reminds me of something. What did I see that at? That sounds like the outlaw Josie Wales. or was it Wyatt Earp in Tombstone? I think both of those people brought hell with them. We might need somebody like them people, you know? We might need somebody like that. Somebody that's bringing hell with them. Yeah, okay. It was Wyatt Earp. Okay, on Tombstone. Yeah, my man said, I'm coming and I'm bringing hell with me. Yeah. That we might need that. We may need that. We're this close. We are this close. We got a guy that's literally on the verge of just ignoring the Constitution completely. He's already broken sections of it. But he's on the verge of ignoring it completely. And that is the problem we're facing when you're thinking about who your next leader is going to be. Who's going to step up? You know, that's the problem. When we think about who the next leader is going to be, our next leader may not be a political guy. You know, politics may not be involved. Although, you know, politics is in everything. So let's bear that in mind. Anyway, like I said, keep your eyes and ears open to see if you hear anybody that's speaking from a position of strength. The guy in the White House, he speaks from a position of strength. Whether you like what he's saying or not, doesn't matter. But he's speaking from a position of strength. And the funny thing about it, he's the biggest idiot you ever seen. The biggest idiot you ever saw. This tariff thing, the worst idea anybody ever had. But he speaks from a position of strength. And that's what it's going to take to move him. That's what it's going to take to move the lot of them. Someone coming from a position of strength. That's what it's going to take. So I guess we'll find out. And probably pretty quick. So on that note, like I said, I do appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Hey, if y'all come up with some names or something, put them out there to me. You know, put them out there. We'll check it out. So anyway, again, appreciate y'all for hanging out there with me out here. And maybe this weekend something good will happen. See if I can make something good happen. And I'll be the first to come back and let y'all know Monday evening. So on that note, say in the meantime and in between time. Yeah, hey man, I agree with you 100%. In the meantime, gear up. Gear up. Definitely may need it. Definitely may need it. So on that note, you all have a good weekend. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Okay? And I will see you Monday, 7 p.m. All right? Take it easy.